Thanks for joining us. My name is Ibrahim Sani. We're looking at some of the developments, particularly the mega projects in Kuala Lumpur, and see how this is going to bring us forward when it comes to 2024 and more. In the studio with me is Datuk Azmar Talib, the CEO of TRX City Sdn Bhd. Good friend of the show, Datuk Azmar. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you. Thank you very much for having me here.
Oh, it's always lovely to have you on. The last time we interacted must be some months ago. I visited TRX. It's still very much in development, but of course some developments are there already ready. But of course we want to explore what the progress has been, particularly in light of some of the developments or some of the announcements that it's been making by TRX. Maybe you can walk through with us in terms of the progress and some of the highlights that TRX is going through right now.
Yeah, okay. I've been in this industry for more than 30 years now. And yes, of course, I've started many townships before. But what we have experienced in TRX, nothing like what I've actually had before.
Yeah.
It has been very, very challenging, but Alhamdulillah, we have been able to pull it through. And yes, now, inshallah, by the end of the year, we should be able to fully open TRX to the public.
Okay, let's talk about the challenges then. What kind of challenges that you have to navigate?
First and foremost, we have been mandated to realize the vision of creating an international financial center in KL. So in order to do that, we have to understand who are the people that we want to bring here. It's not just about cannibalizing the current people that are already in KL. So we have to think of how to attract international big boys to come to KL.
And girls as well, but yes.
Yeah. So in order to do that, we have to understand their expectation. And these big boys,
and girls, but yes.
Yeah. These big brands, they are everywhere in the world, and they understand what are the future expectations. So we have ingrained in our development elements that are very pertinent to the expectation. So in TRX, we have got that vision, and we have incorporated those very important elements which normal development won't do.
Let's talk about those kind of things that normal developments don't have, but you do.
See, smart city element, sustainable development are very, very important. But of course, there are a few features that are important for them. So they want to have an address that support them as an international player. So, example, in TRX, we have got a few, what I call as brand persona. That
brand persona.
Brand persona
okay.
that we focus on. Besides being a gazetted financial district, so we stay focused on ensuring that the site is highly accessible. The accessibility is great by rail, by road, and also for pedestrians. So number two is the element of smart city. So digitalization is very important. We actually embark on a very comprehensive study on how actually to incorporate those elements. But as you know, digital elements are very costly and it obsolete very fast. So we have to articulate very carefully so that we do not spend so much future money, then it becomes obsolete fast. So it must be scalable. So we do that. Then the other element that we have strongly actually imputed, the sustainable element. So at that point in time, there is this no jargon of SDG or ESG, but we believe that those are important to ensure that we'll be able to stand a very long future test of time. So we have imputed that, and some we have actually been able to incorporate, example, water management, where the outcome is we are able to recycle water and generate recycled water, and we have also incorporated a lot of other elements that will make the place seamless to be managed in the future.
There are a lot of international finance centers in the world. Of course, while TRX is trying to pursue some of these big brands to pull into KL and into TRX itself, do you feel that these kind of differentiating factors, the one that you mentioned in terms of sustainable solutions, smart city solutions, many more, is this enough to pull these kind of investors to leave the current international finance centers around the world, in Dubai, New York, whatever, to come to TRX and set up shop here?
See, these are, I call it important but not urgent, but it's a long-term plan. So first and foremost, we must be able to create, a compelling facility address for the people to make it as an address. So of course, we are not asking everybody in the world to come, but at least we need to create a hub in KL for that purpose. And this is important for the nation. So because if this element or which will create a new service which is very pertinent to business. The financial services are very pertinent to businesses, and we have got those actually the level of service are competitive enough. I suppose it will make KL an attractive destination for other investors to come.
Fantastic. We'll go for one short break before we continue on with TRX City. Thanks for continuing on with us. I have with me TRX City's Nambahat. Let's talk a little bit more about the expected population numbers and the kind of developmental growth that you see in this particular project. What has been the take-up and occupancy rate of the commercial units at TRX? And do you expect this number to rise next year? In fact, how do you plan to see the closing of this year, in fact?
Yeah. See, first and foremost, I would like to share that when we developed TRX, which is a 70-acre development consisting of having in total about 24 million square feet space. We have a few users, land users. So the key one is the office. And now which is supposed to accommodate users that are in the financial services industry. So at the end of the day, once completed, now we are supposed to create about 40,000 knowledge working opportunities, and so far we have had about 20,000 people working in TRX. But for residential, we expect to have a population of 12,000 or so, and for the retail, we expect to generate about 10,000 employment opportunities for the people. So those are the population. Those are the baseline population, but it can grow more.
When we started this conversation early on, you were talking about you can't wait for this to be open to the public in full. When is that timeline?
Okay. See, TRX are made up of, as I say, the few components. It's not just Exchange 106. We have had 4 office buildings completed. There is HSBC headquarters, AFIN headquarters, and Prudential headquarters, which constitute about 600 million square feet of space. We started opening up TRX in 2019, and we have completed the infrastructure, but the infrastructure will be fully opened up to public together with the opening of the mall, which is located in the center, which binds the entire development.
What is that mall called?
The mall is called the Exchange TRX.
Okay.
So it is a.
It's at the base of Exchange 106.
No, it is in the center of TRX because it's a different footprint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it is a 2.2 million square feet of retail space directly connected to the.
So the mall is opening
by the end of the year.
By the end of the
year. by December this year.
Are you getting the necessary tenants already? Kind of brands that you can actually share with us?
So far, though we have not opened up, we have not completed, we have let out almost 95%.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, 95% of space, and inshallah, according to our partner, that's Landlease International, we should be able to fully let the entire space before we open up by December 2023.
Okay.
And of course, there are quite a number of new to market brands that have never been able to come to Malaysia by virtue of, they say, either not enough opportunities, or there are none which actually meets their expectation, their quality expectation. So of course,
until TRX came along.
Yeah, and the mall is, what is exciting is that there'll be a 10-acre park above the mall. I believe the park is one of its kind in this country, and it's amongst the biggest rooftop park anywhere in the world.
I'm pretty sure. So now you're balancing these kind of varying timelines in terms of opening. As you mentioned earlier, HSBC, AFIN and Prudential have been there. Mixed development, things like this might require people to understand a bit better in terms of the buy-in from the public. They can actually come here. There's a lot of public spaces as well.
Yeah.
But because of the varying timelines being opened, I'm not too sure whether the public is aware that, oh, this is open, but this has not been open, and this is going to be open, and the likes. So how are you communicating all this to the public stakeholders to a point where, hey, we're open for business, but not that, but this?
See, for the officers, it's quite straightforward. When they move here, their staff actually have to come over. But thus far, though we have completed the infrastructure, we have not really opened it yet, in full. It's only meant for the people that work in TRX. But at the same time, that day we also work together with MRT, because MRT is underneath. And we have to coordinate the progress well, because MRT...
It's called Tun Razak Exchange, right, the stop?
Yes, Tun Razak Exchange station. So now we have got MRT station in full operations, connecting us to 64 stations all over. And yes, when we open the mall together with the park, we are going to have a real grand opening of TRX in total. But we got so many components in there. See, the COVID also actually has disrupted a lot of our program.
I'm sure.
So we are trying actually to balance up, and inshallah, we have actually laid down a proper program to release this to the public, and I believe this is a big and also great event for KL. It's not just for TRX. It is going to be a KL event.
Okay, so knowing that KL is already, we're looking at competing mega projects in KL, mixed development projects in KL. Some malls have been around for 20, 30 years, highly frequented by retailers and shoppers. Do you feel that TRX has what it takes to stand out across the kind of various propositions and offerings that we have? Considering that it is new, the latest shining product in town can be both a good and a bad thing for you guys. So how do you see you standing out across head and shoulders above the rest?
Yeah, first and foremost, when we open, KLCC will be about 25-year-old, Pavilion will be about 15-year-old. But we were also quite lucky in the sense that we have incorporated a lot of elements that would actually make it relevant to the current and future demand. Mm-hmm. The other thing is, you see, similar to KLCC, TRX is a thematic mall. Mm-hmm. Because we've got a park on there. So with that, we have been able to develop a concept which we call mall in the park, park in the mall. And there are quite a number of exciting elements.
Yes.
Yeah, exciting elements, where we integrate the park together with the mall. And it will create a lifestyle. So at the end of the day, TRX is not going to be just a concrete jungle, So it will be a place, a destination for people actually to come, and with the about 400 shops that have been designed in TRX, and some of these are going to be flagships. I believe it's going to be a very exciting place to be.
When I visited the Battersea Mixed Development Project last year, what I found interesting, the only thing I found interesting was that they are able to turn public spaces into community event space. Not necessarily where it's translating into commercial revenue, but just to get people, families to come, do picnics, there's community events, not necessarily translating to cash per se. Is it something that you're thinking of?
Yes, when we articulated the mall, first and foremost, I would say that the public realm, TRX is going to be the new public realm for KL.
Not the KLCC
No, that's
park.
one. I'm saying the new, another one. So, I mean, even CBD. In London, we have got so many CBDs.
Canary Wharf and all, yeah.
So, same thing with KL. No, this is going to be one. KLCC have been very successful. It's going to be there to stay. That's also the pride of the nation. And TRX is going to be the new one, the new kid in the block. That actually will elevate
people. We have many pride.
That will elevate KL to another level. There's a flight of quality to KL. So very important. What we have done is we have incorporated elements that will make the park and the mall very attractive, and we try to avoid what I call sterility. So what I meant is that
a lot of vibrancy.
The park will be very vibrant. There's a place for people to so-called lepak, but
fine.
at the same time, we have got serious spaces that have been designed to allow for proper function. Example, our park actually have been designed to also host red carpet events.
What do you mean red carpet, like Brad Pitt kind of thing?
Yeah, because if you want to, if there's any any major function or major launching of products, so that can be done. Because see, our park, though it is about 20 meters above ground, but it's accessible by car. Two
more areas that I want to explore. The second last area that I want to explore is on investment. I want to learn a little bit more in terms of what new investments you're targeting, particularly when it comes to the strategies in trying to understand what the prospects are going to look like for TRX. And second is, of course, living your legacy, because you've been at this job since 2011.
Yeah. So, first on investment, TRX is coming to maturity, and I believe that we are ahead of our original program, and TRX is one of the more international destination, because you see a lot of there are more international brands than local brands in TRX. So moving forward, now we also very grateful that our Prime Minister have reiterated the mandate for TRX to be an international financial center. Now in his last budget speech, that augurs well for TRX, and because of that, we have been receiving, and also post-COVID, we have been receiving a lot of new inquiries from investors and businesses, not only from Malaysia but more from the international sector. So, and we are working towards realizing this thing, transforming this thing into businesses. So, inshallah, in the not so far time, we'll be able to see more developments, also international brands in TRX.
What about your legacy?
I have, like I told you, I have opened up more townships than and named more townships than naming my own kids. You know, so I have got, you know, I've done many townships, but what we have actually done in TRX is something that I'm very proud of, and upon completion, I really hope that we'll be able to deliver our promises to people based on our vision, and leave behind a very strong intellectual property for the company to spur further, and of course, you know, leave behind, you know, very talented champion team.
I wasn't asking that. I was asking about you as an individual. The kind of imprint that you're leaving for the company must be something, right? To take charge for something so long, something 12 years.
I've been here for 12 years, and Alhamdulillah, we have.
What does it mean for you? It has to be something.
Oh yeah, it's about that's the last, I believe, last league of my my executive role.
No, I disagree. Malaysians now die at 88. You're what? You're turning 21 soon, so there's still like what, 20, 30 years to go.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, but
what's next for you?
Yeah, but of course, I'm also involved in other things. Now, being asked actually to assist other organizations, you know, to develop. You know, to create this kind of thing, to replicate or actually develop better things elsewhere. You know, I don't think I can actually share which other organization, but all those basically doing national service.
And this 12 years, you've seen a lot of establishments change. You've seen how Malaysia has transformed itself from what was a vibrant economy to one that is now facing the hard reality of truth in terms of economic headwinds that might lie ahead. I'm not saying we're in trouble, but yeah, we've got to do a lot more to make sure that we continue to stay ahead. That kind of changes, do you feel that you wish you had more time in terms of taking a leadership in this particular organization?
I suppose, Alhamdulillah, in TRX, no, we have had enough. And to share with you, I was also very surprised that we are able to draw the off-takers very early. In actual fact, we are able to sign up to the big brands, some of those even before we spend anything on ground. You know, so we have got a very, very comprehensive, very good master plan, and a strategy actually to reach out to those investors pays well, and we created a very clear clarity of what they can get in TRX and how they can manage their investment risk. So that's the reason why, example I can share with you, upon getting the master plan, the first thing that I did was to get a dedicated postcode. TRX postcode is 55188 TRX. That is not IMBI's postcode. What was IMBI before. And with that, we work towards getting any of the international brand names to sign up with us. Then we were so lucky we were able actually to log in Prudential then, to sign up with us. Then good things also actually attract other better things. So we have had the biggest thing that we have had actually is when the result of our international tender have actually brought to us Lendlease, which is in a global brand, who brings in a lot of good values, capabilities, good investment value, good internationally recognized brands, and good capabilities that have helped us to actually pull through.
So you're proud of these achievements? Is this more of your achievement or TRX's achievement?
No, it's TRX. It's not me. It's not me. I've got a great team. I've got a very young team. My age-wise, I'm father to almost a lot of these people. I've got a very young team. We are a flattish organization, but we work as one. Yes, of course, there are a lot of challenges. I guide, but I also challenge them. And we are able to transform a lot of liabilities into opportunities. That actually helped us a lot.
Thank you very much. That was a very interesting conversation, and I do wish you all the best in your future endeavors. I wish you could share some with us actually on this show. You sure you don't want to let people know what you're up to next?
I think we get to the next show, then I'll share with you.
Sekarang dia datang show lagi ni.
Just to give you some flavor.
Yeah, we don't have much time. Go on.
I would like to invite you to you know, to witness for yourself, you know, how we have progressed and the interesting thing that we have actually delivered. And for Malaysian, just watch out for the grand opening in December 2023, inshallah.
It's going to be a nice store that is going to open there as well. That was Datuk Azmar Talib, the CEO of TRX City Senang Berhad. If you want to learn more, just head off to TRX. You can learn more there. You can also find such resources here on astroawani.com. We're going to be covering all these kind of developments and also the grand opening, hopefully, in December. That's just 2-3 months to go. But for now, my name is Ibrahim Sani. Catch you in the next one.